What is up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. Today, the figure we're taking a look at is the Newage Hawk. Now, their previous version of Ironhide was called McCoy, and I don't know. I guess this one is a Hawk and not a McCoy. I'm not sure exactly what that was a reference to, because I would have figured that, they would have called their Ratchet McCoy as a reference to, Dr. McCoy from Star Trek. But I don't know who Hawk is a reference to. Wasn't there a Hawk and MASH? I don't remember. I'm not that old. I'm not that old, guys. Jeez. Calm out. Anyhow, so yes, this is the Newage Hawk. This is, it's not really Ironhide. No, it's not. If you think it's Ironhide, you're crazy. You got yourself a screw loose. It's clearly Hawk. But gosh, he's a good looking figure. Most of the red on him is painted. There are a couple panels that are noticeably missing paint. I say noticeably, in which case it's really not. But in person, I kind of wish that this top panel had paint to match, this little bit of red here is painted, and all of this is painted, and this is all painted, and it's red paint on red plastic. This is all painted here. But it would have been, I don't know. It just seems a little weird that just that one panel didn't make it. Of course, his upper arms and these parts of his shoulder parts right here are that polyoxymethylene plastic that doesn't like to get painted. So I'll forgive all of that. But yeah, it's a gorgeous looking figure. I've got him in comparison with the old McCoy. And the thing that strikes me first is that they seem to have changed the scale. And I'm not, it's such a weird thing, because this figure is not a bad figure at all. Even in light of all the stuff coming out, this is still not a bad figure. In fact, these days, you could probably get this figure cheaper than ever, because, it's going to be in less demand, because this is, I would say, a better figure, even though it doesn't make this figure worse by the new one being out. New one, hides the parts a little bit better, doesn't have this, gappy part in the chest. Backpack is much better. Paint apps, of course, better. I would even go so far as to say that the face sculpt is a little bit better. Maybe not the face sculpt so much as just the shape of the overall head, I think, is a bit better on the new one. But yeah, there are some things that I like about this figure, most notably, so I'm not a huge stickler for transparent windows. I don't think it's really a necessary thing. However, when they do it, because I understand that sometimes it does provide a certain aesthetic to have a translucent window, and that's what they've done here, but they've made it a fairly opaque translucent plastic. It's this, blue stuff, and it doesn't look out of place in either robot mode or vehicle mode, even though in vehicle mode, of course, this is the only panel that's actually clear. All the other ones are painted. So it does, of course, have a little bit of disparity. We'll get to that when we get to that. But, goddamn, doesn't he just look like he came straight off the show? One of the things that, we've never really had a figure that did was made that super square, super blocky chest. If you want to use the window, it's got to look like a van window and not like a, Ironhide chest. So they make that work. Now, granted, I would go so far as to say that the alt mode actually on the old one is better. But again, we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, just a beautiful looking figure. All the way around. But in terms of accessories, boy does he come with accessories. First of all, he comes with his pistol. This is, pretty much the same pistol that we've seen before. It's actually slightly larger than the old pistols. And the chrome, I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but the chrome is a like a shinier, less pearlescent chrome. Also, these old ones, they glow under a black light. These ones don't. By glow, I mean they fluoresce. They reflect more vividly. Anyhow, but he comes with a gun and he holds it in his hand, as you would expect him to do with a gun, to hold it, to have and to hold, till death do you part. The peg in here is much more aggressive than the peg that keeps his hand in, it being a smaller and shorter peg. So, trying to pull it out of his hand, you end up just pulling his hand off. It's not a problem. Hand goes back in. He comes with a gun like so. I'm not going to stick all these in his hand. He comes with a gun like so. He comes with a vacuum accessory, or whatever the hell this thing was. And you can put it, I don't know which way it's supposed to go. Due to the shape of his arms, I think it looks a little bit better that way. But I think that the show-wise, it's supposed to be like that. He does come with alternate hands. And these hands have got a cool little hinge on them. He comes with a backpack that will plug into this slot here on his back. So he can swoop, fly around. And the backpack has got, these are the Seeker flame effects, recolored and repurposed for Ironhide. That's snazzy. That's a good use right there. And then you can also use this tab for this gun right here. You can plug it in and then swing it out to a side, either side. Does this missile come off? No, it does not. The missile does not come off. Does it really not? No, it really doesn't. Because this panel here is a little bit finicky, that anything you put on there, either the backpack or this weapon, is going to be a little bit finicky. But yeah, you can turn this from side to side and pivot that up and down. And then he also comes with this little base thingamajig where you can store everything. So you can plug that into there, and then you can like take all of his accessories and just like plug them all in. Like that. And 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 then the only accessory that you have left, you'll always end up with one accessory that doesn't go anywhere. Which is a little bit of a bummer. Unless you take and put like his gun in his hand, and then you've got space for the last accessory. So maybe that's what it's intended to do. But yeah, I think it's kind of fun that they included his little assault platform. Got little tread details on the underside of it. No articulation on this thing. It doesn't fold up. It doesn't roll. It doesn't do anything. It's just, it's there. because apparently he had it in the comic or the show or both or neither. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't remember if we ever actually saw his assault platform in the G1 show, but we've got the accessory for it here. But anyhow, let's talk about his articulation. So his head is on a ball joint. It will look up all the way. It will look down pretty much not at all. Swivel just fine. A little bit of a confused ironhide look. His shoulder will go all the way around. He does have a full tree pose joint there, plus that much. That's really a transformation joint, but it's not. It doesn't transform out this way, so that's more for posability, I would say. It's a transformation. It's a dual-purpose joint. That's what I'm just going to go with. It's a dual-purpose joint. He's got a bicep swivel here, double-jointed elbow for the full bend. He's got a hinge here at the wrist. If you have his other hands in, the open palm hands, then he's also got it's a little flippy flap joint there. He has an ab crunch, which is fairly limited. However, there is a transformation joint in here. It's a little slider, and if you disconnect that slider, I'll even show you what I'm talking about. See, there's this slider in here, and if you disconnect that, now you can take full advantage of this joint, and he can bend quite a bit. And he can even do some pop them hips out, you know what I'm saying? Get that twerk on or something. But anyhow, he's got a waist joint, as you do. Hips go forward that far, go backwards that far. They come out for the full Van Damme. Thigh swivel here. Single joint bend at the knee. There is a sub-knee joint, mostly for transformation. His ankle tilts about as much as you could ever need it to. You do have you don't have any tiltage on the toe itself. The toe is actually pinned into the front of his shin, but you can move the heel a bit if you need to. But all in all, it's a very good figure. Very good posability. I think that Newage has, nailed it once again, because I know that a lot of people like Magic Square, and I'm not gonna shit on anyone's opinion. If you like Magic Square, then you like Magic Square, and your reasons are yours, and everybody's opinion is valid. I, for one, don't really. I don't know. I have such a mixed history with Magic Square in that I really like Magic Square for. I think that they have good engineering generally, and I think that they have good, proportions and whatnot. Generally, especially recently. But I've had issues with their QC. Not just because their plastic is weird, but their plastic is weird. Also, I've had issues with, pins not being done properly, paint apps not being done properly, parts not being molded properly. I've just had a number of QC issues with Magic Square figures, and I've never really had. No, I can't recall at all that I've ever had any kind of QC issue with a Newage figure. And I'm not saying that Newage figures don't ever have QC issues. I'm just saying that you put both of them in your hands, and Newage almost invariably feels like a higher quality figure. And I just love Newage for all of that. But it's a gorgeous figure. It really is. Let's get him transformed up. The transformation on this guy is actually fairly simple. Well, let me make sure. Oh. Just making sure that I have the proper hand in place because I swapped it out. You cannot transform it with these hands because they're just too big and they get in the way. But to start with, let's open up his chest here. There's a flap down at the bottom and then there's a flap up at the top. When this is open, you can take these little guys here and rotate them around. That will help transition from the super square or rectangular windshield in the robot mode to a slightly less rectangular windshield in vehicle mode. Bring up his arms, pull out these big old panels here. Slide this guy out until it will kind of click into place on the long side of that. You want to take his waist and transform it or rotate it 180 degrees. These ankles, you're going to bend this up and bend that up and then disconnect the whole thing from here and bring these leg sections kind of just out to the side for now. Again, so fold this up, disconnect that, bring that out. You can take these and plug them in together, like so, if you want. The arms are going to go in like so, and then what you want to do, actually, let's talk about this first. You want to open up this panel here, and then this part kind of slides around, and you want to, I'm trying to remember exactly what position this slides around in. But basically, this is on the slider, and so you want to take and slide it all the way the other way. And then when it comes around, it's going to sit like so, which means that I want these like that. Yeah, like that. So this will come in, the arm will rotate in, you'll open up this panel here, bring it around, rotate this thing at that joint there, and then slide this across on that joint until it kind of clicks in there. Real quick, let's put the head in and then close that back up. You're going to fold this down and then bring this up, and you want to take and plug this little tab that's on that arm panel will plug into this little slot that's right here on the leg panel. And you don't have to have everything lined up to plug it in. You can just plug it in right there and then just kind of massage everything into its final position. This crotch plate here is going to fold up. This whole thing kind of just hangs down there. You want to take this panel and fold that out, and then fold this out, and then this whole thing will fold down, and you'll got these two tabs will fit into these two slots here. This tab right here will fit into a slot on that arm panel, and that'll help you just line everything up. And do the same for the other side. Fold out this panel here, fold out that panel there, plug it all in. And then for the leg, you want to take and extend this part out. Then you've got these two tabs, and then there's this slot that goes onto that tab there, and just weasel that into place a little bit. And there you have him in his little vehicle mode. And I I don't remember off the top of my head what his vehicle mode looked like in the show. I don't remember if it was like super bulky or if it was like more van-like looking like this. Like this actually looks like the Toyota van that Ironhide is based off of, at least the toy is based off of. And that's super commendable. I really like that. This it looks like I dropped it. It looks like a cartoon rendition of a Toyota van. And I'm trying to remember if that's what he looked like in the show or not. And I kind of feel like he kind of did. I'd have to look stuff up to really know for certain, but yeah, there he is. Again, he's got that translucent windshield on the front, but you can see here it matches pretty damn well, you know. Of course, this is going to be more shiny in the light, whereas this is just, you know, reflective. But, you know, good paint apps all around. Again, pretty much almost all of the outer panels of the van are painted. The only exceptions being these palm parts here, here, and there. It's got bumper details on the front and the back. Like, it looks like, I mean, of course, I know that they simplify these things when they put them in the cartoon. So, like, this looks like a very precise looking, you know, van. It's got, like, handles, and it's got, like, windshield wipers on the front and the back. It's got, like, this little, like, you know, lock slash, I don't know, emblem detail there. It's got, like, the accurate, you know, headlights. You know, and this is just, it's like a cartoon version, and I think that looks fine. That being said, I do kind of like the more accurate alt mode, but I don't hate the new alt mode. You know, none of his accessories will attach in this mode. Well, actually, no, I don't think any of them will. Which I guess, you know, is fair since they're all supposed to be built into this mode anyhow, so. But it's a really good figure. I really like it, like a whole lot. Oh yeah, and it rolls great. But that's about all I have to say about that. This receives my full recommendation. Of course, I am a sucker for Legends class figures and New Age figures in particular, so of course y'all expected that I was going to say, yeah, go out and buy this, it's great, because it is great. What are you kidding me? Jeez. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. Everybody, I'll see you later. Bye.